Welcome back to the original box set Shadowrun podcast. Sunny's MIA, leaving the rest of the team to rely on other contacts to find more work. Gears isn't looking for work yet, though. He's about to hit the road to Chicago to find out more about the car that seems to have chosen him as its next owner. Our GM is Max, and Gears is played by Jay. We hope you enjoy listening.
So, what was the last thing Gears was doing?
I had just finished meeting with, what's his face, Brent Williams, the husband of the sister of the guy who owned the car that got killed.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Williams, yeah, I do remember. Yeah. And you did a Good Samaritan deed and helped him out by doing some repairs around his house.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, you, tailed Lino.
Yeah.
Where Jessica, the chick Mary, Odysseus, were all at your abode.
Yeah.
And you had told Odysseus, you can hang out for a while.
Right.
As you need. And I think that's where we left off.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So do you have any karma experience, karma that you want to spend?
Yes. I have 24 karma.
Okay.
I haven't exactly looked at what I want to spend it on yet. I would like to get my intuition up another point, if that's possible.
Okay, what is your current?
Go from 3 to 4.
It's going to cost 20 karma, and will take 4 weeks.
Okay, I'll do that.
Because that will improve a lot of stuff that your character does, like perception checks and initiatives. Yes, you're right, initiatives. She's so very helpful. All right, so your roommate, did we ever give her a name?
Not that I know of. I don't think we did.
I mean, I'm sure you know her name, but
right.
We should figure it out. It should be in relation to some sort of like rock song from the 80s, like Ride, Sally, Ride. Her name could be like Sally or something like that. Or Roxanne. My favorite prostitute name is Roxanne.
I like Trixie.
Trixie it is.
Trixie habits.
Okay. Da-da-da. So, Jay, you just got through with a pretty intense run. You've burned through a few hundred rounds of ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to, instead of feeding you options, I'm going to let you tell me what you think Gears should be up to these days.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take care of business first. Make sure all my drones are perfect condition. Top them off with ammunition. If I need to buy ammunition, I'll get a hold of James Brown.
Oh, yes, James Brown.
And buy some ammunition.
Do you remember what his connectivity was?
Yes. It is 3.
Oh, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 6. And what's his loyalty to you?
2.
Do you want to role play through this or just dice roll through it?
We could just dice roll through this.
1, 2, 3. All right. How much ammunition are you looking to get a hold of?
What did we say it was on my Dalmatian? 100 for each gun?
Yes.
So I'll need 200 rounds for that.
Okay.
The Nissan that my partners gave me, the guard dog.
Yes.
Does that have any mounts?
Yes. But none of them are used.
None of them are used.
Yeah, it has 1 mount and it's never been used, so you definitely could mount something on it.
Yeah, I'd like to get a gun for that too.
Okay. All right. James can definitely get you 100 rounds, 200 rounds of ammunition. He doesn't have, let's see if he can get a hold of pre-belted ammunition. Oh yeah, he can get you some pre-belted ammunition.
All right.
It's not going to be cheap. He's going to charge you, let's see, pull my little calculator here. 600 yen for 2 belts of 200 rounds of ammunition.
Okay.
All right. What kind of gun are you looking for?
Some sort of machine gun. Same thing that I got on the other Predator, or the other Dalmatian.
That's an assault rifle. A machine gun's a completely different creature.
They are. Oh.
Yes. Because of the size of a machine gun, your Dalmatian can carry 1 machine gun or 2 assault rifles. It has 2 assault rifles.
Okay, assault rifle is what I want.
So an AK-97, let's see, should be relatively easy to get a hold of. A Colt M23 should also be getting rather easy to get a hold of. Those are the 2. Colts have shit for damage and shit for accuracy, but the AK-97 is better on accuracy, better on damage.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the AK-97.
It's the go-to weapon. Okay. So 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He got 5 successes, so he can definitely get a hold of at least 1 AK-97. At 2 AK-97s. And once again, 3. So he has a nice stock of AK-97s. Not a problem. He would be more happy to part with them for 1K each.
Okay, I just need 1, so 1,000.
Yep.
Okay. And ammo for it. Is that another 100 rounds?
Another 100 rounds will be another 300 yen. So make it 2K, make it 2K and he'll toss in an extra 100 rounds of ammunition. So a total of 400 rounds of ammunition and an AK-97. The last 100 rounds will not be belted.
Okay.
He wants to know if you want anything else at this point in time. He's got a nice selection of small arms he's trying to get rid of.
I'm pretty good for now as far as other guns go. I'll thank him for the offer, though.
He tells you, I'm looking to push this stuff, so if you know anybody who needs anything, gangers, bangers, whatever, send them his way, and he'll give you a cut, because he needs to move some merchandise.
Okay, deal.
Brown is now getting out of town.
I didn't write the name down. When we went to that club, it was like a dance club. It was a guy from the I-Fivers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get his name, though. I might try to get in contact with him, see if he wants to buy any guns.
Okay. You had gone to Howl at the Moon?
Not the one that, what's-his-face likes to go to. It was like a nightclub or something like that. It wasn't like a bar. No, that was Das Beer Garden that he likes to go to. So it probably was Howl at the Moon, yes.
Yeah, you and him went to Howl at the Moon because he's looking for Creep.
Right.
Who he thinks is a werewolf. Werewolves, like they exist. And so you guys had gone there, and that's where you met one of the Fivers, who was generally nice to you. We'll give him a name.
I brought some Nova Coke from him, I think.
Alright, so his name will be... Let's see. They're called the Fivers, I-Fivers, because the Highway 5. He needs to have a cool-sounding name.
Skid.
Damn, that's good. I like that. Okay, Skid.
Or Skid Mark.
Did I give you a connection or loyalty rating?
No.
Right, so you have none. Do you have a phone number for him?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a contact point. All right, so this is shortly after getting the Dalmatian. You've decided to seek out an I-Fiver that you met one time on the chance to do some money making. So how are you going to find Skid? You call him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. All right. Phone rings, and you get a voicemail. It says, leave a message, and I will call you back if it's important.
I'll say, hey, this is a guy you met at the club a couple nights ago. I got a guy who's trying to unload some stuff that you might be interested in. If you are, give me a call, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I mean, street slang, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know the drill. You know what's up. Let's not play these fucking games. So, I rolled 2 successes out of his, choice loyalty to you because that's always like a starting point, 1 or 2. Loyalty generally starts at 2, unless somebody's really eager to be your friend, then it's a 3. If they don't like you, it drops down to 1. And so 2 is where I put it at. He gives you a call back the same day. Did you say your name to him? Because I'm sure you did.
Yes.
All right, memory check. Oh, he got 4 out of 4 on a memory check. He's like, Gears, man, I barely recognized your voice. Great to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to hear from you too. And then so I got this guy, he's a good, friend of mine. He's trying to unload some stuff, some guns and stuff. Would you be interested in anything?
Whoa, hey man, watch what you say. Phone lines can be tapped. Hey.
Yeah, I didn't want to say guns. My character wouldn't have.
Okay. All right, rewind then.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some stuff that he wants to unload, and just wondering if you were interested.
Yeah, right about now, man. I'm interested in getting some cement. I got me a construction job going on. So if you could, I buy bags cheap. If you can swing by and, do you know where the Calgary National Cemetery is? Right across the street, there's like this park.
Do you want me to roll a Seattle roadways?
No, your character would know it down in Tacoma.
Okay.
Which means you're going to be in Kagami territory.
Okay.
Kagami being the police.
Yeah, I know the place.
Yeah, meet me there. We can, I'll see what you got.
Okay. I'm going to call, when I hang up with him, I'm going to call James Brown up and tell him that I might have a buyer for those guns he wants to unload, but I would say it the proper way.
Got it. Hey, meet me here.
He probably wants to see it, so I don't know how you want to work that out. If you want to give them to me, if you trust me with them to take to him, and then I can bring you back your share, or however you want to do it.
Nice, cool. I'll totally meet you down there.
Okay.
I'll bring my brother-in-law with me and all the stuff. We hang out. I'll bring some beers. You bring the smokes. You know how that works.
Sounds great.
All right. So do you want to arrive early or late for this ordeal?
I'll arrive early.
All right. And he will arrive in his big, stretched-out LTD. And short time after that, 2 pickup trucks. Whilst this is a park, there's a bunch of kids playing in the background. And so you guys are in the parking lot. And right across the street's a cemetery, the Calgary Cemetery. 2 pickup trucks come pulling in. They look rustic and rural, nothing really fancy like older model trucks that seem some good wear and tear. The 5 that you remember speaking with, they all ride motorcycles. The pickup trucks show up. These guys hang out. They're just like, hey, we're waiting on our guy. We're waiting on our guy. So Brown does not get out of his car. As you guys have pulled up, he just rolls down his window, gives you the, nod. Brown rolls his window down and gives you that knowing nod and then gives you a gesture like, come here.
Yeah, I'll walk over there.
This is prior to the pickup truck showing up. He will say, look, man, we done business. I think it's great you're helping me do my business. I'm going to give you 10%, whatever the sell is. It's good. You don't have to help me talk these guys. I talk just fine. What I want is you standing back, make sure this isn't going to be a heist. They're going to try to take me for everything. I want you to be there to put a few rounds in a few of them. And things get bad, I got you covered. I'll pay you.
Yeah, I got you back.
He gives a nod. While they wait for the pickup trucks to show up, do you want to hang outside the cars or hang in your car? What do you want to do?
I want to hang outside the car, and because I showed up with my van.
Yes.
And I want to pull the guard dog out and have him next to me, like petting him and stuff.
Really? All
I'm
right.
waiting.
All right. Perception check then.
Perception. So 6.
I remember it's perception plus intuition, so you get to add in.
Right. Perception is 2, so 2 successes.
You notice that as you've got the dog out and you're keeping its attention. I'm assuming you've got your RCC in hand.
Yeah.
Are you controlling of your AR?
RCC?
That's your radio communication device that allows you to, with your rigger, control the drone just by making it do stuff through
I
AR.
can't just use the chip in my head.
That would be, this is the box. So it's like the chip in your head talks to the box controls the drone. It's a 3-step process.
Okay.
You don't have an internal RCC.
I thought I did, though.
You have what's called a rigger control. The rigger control allows your commands to go that much better. It increases the thing's handling, piloting skills, gives it more auto soft options.
Okay.
And it allows you, without the rigger control, you cannot cold sim or hot sim into something.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You get the attention of at least 1 or 2 kids who are at the playground playing. They've stopped playing to watch you play with your robotic dog.
Okay. They're keeping their distance, though, right?
Yeah, they're on the other side of a fence.
Okay. We're good then.
All right, one of them yells at you, "Can it do a trick, mister?"
Yeah, I'll try to do something. I'll try to make it I'll make it sit
Okay.
first, and then I'll make it roll over.
Okay. All right. They are duly entertained enough that they're called back by their child handler supervisor, some adult that's watching them, to get away from the fence. Don't talk to strangers. And then the pickup trucks are going to show up. They show up, they tell you, like I said beforehand, we're going to wait for our friend to show up. They don't want to see the merchandise or anything. After a little while, a trike shows up, and on it is Skid. Alright, so he pulls up, gets off, walks over. He's representing... Actually, no, this is the middle of the day. He's not going to represent anything. He's just wearing a normal jacket. So he walks up, extends a hand of warm greetings. Hey, what's going on, man?
I'll shake his hands. Good to see you. Let me introduce you to my guy, and I'll show him to James Brown.
Window cracks just a little bit. James is enjoying himself a nice joint. Hey, what's up? They greet for a little while. Skids wants to see the goods. James will get out. The other older gentleman in the car will not get out. He'll stay in the car. James, dressed nicely, goes to the back of the car, opens the trunk up, and the trunk is receded enough that unless you are standing over the trunk, you cannot see what's in it. And there is a nice display of light and heavy pistols and 1 submachine gun. As Skids comes around the corner and he sees this, he's like, "Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody who was selling something like what I sell." He just looks over at the guys who are in the pickup truck and gives like a nod, and they kind of give the knowing nod back. He's like, "Yeah, I'm interested." He looks to the left and right, and Mr. Brown goes, "If you need a demonstration, I will not be able to facilitate. But if you understand what you are dealing with, then we can move forward with purchasing. Just ask and I will name the price." So I'm going to do some quick dice rolling. This is charisma, skills, and negotiations of the 2. Alright, Skids has 8 dice to work with. Gets 1, 2 successes. Alright. Brown has 5 charisma and 5 negotiations, being that he is a more skilled dog at this. And he gets 1, 2, 3 successes. So definitely some sells take place. Only 1 success extra. Some guns are purchased, and you land yourself a nice 60 yen extra into your pocket. That's 10%. They don't buy too much.
Yeah.
He buys guns and some ammunition. Mr. Brown is very happy about the short sale. He gives he'll give you a nod, fork you out some, finder fee cash after they leave. And Skid sits there and says, "Hey, I might know some more people who know some people, so I'll keep you in mind, Gears, if I need to pick up some more stuff."
Sounds great.
All right, so what you can do now is you can write down Skid's. He's a trike driver for the Fivers. He has loyalty of 2 and connections of 4.
Okay.
And Mr. Brown's very happy with you, helping him make a few deals, so his loyalty to you will go up by 1.
Okay.
It should put him at a loyalty of 3.
Yes.
And you made 60 yen and improved and got a contact, so that's a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the Fivers, some guns. What else do you want to do?
Well, quick questions about that. What's the difference between loyalty and connection?
Loyalty is how far they're willing to do stuff for you. Now, Brown would be willing to, if you sat there and said, "Hey, I need a really high-powered weapon, and I need it quickly," Brown might be able to pull some strings and look around through his connections to find you a gun that is better than what he normally can get. Or if you asked him to do something outside of his normal venue, "Hey, I need a place to hide out," he might be able to pull that off too. He's not going to be as loyal if you go outside his venue as it is within his venue. Mm-hmm. So, and you can damage a relationship. "Hey, I need a place to hide." Loyalty might drop down to a 2 after that point in time. He's still going to be loyal to a degree, but money and cops will definitely sway him off your assistance at that point. But if it's like guns...
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you can do and what you are doing is helping Mr. Brown improve his connections by doing this. So his connectivity will increase as you help him find more business and more people to deal with.
What does the connection number mean?
That's the number. That's the number of dice I get to roll when it goes to determine whether he can find something for you. Right now, he has 4 dice.
Okay.
Sorry, 8 dice that I roll versus availability. And my objective is to get higher than those availabilities.
Well, what's the 3 then? Because for James Brown, I have 3 loyalty, 3 connection.
I roll 6 dice,
mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to beat the availability listed for guns.
But how do you get 6 from 3?
Because you just double their connection. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it. That's all there is. So, Skids is a trike driver. So if you wanted some gang support or drugs, he's got 8 dice to work with.
Okay.
To get either, some gangers to come out and work with you.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
Now, they have their own personal skills, charisma, stat like that, and those only come in play when it needs it. In the meantime, they get boiled down to just 1 stat, connectivity.
Okay, great.
So, Sunny, what's her connectivity for you?
3.
Yeah. As far as it goes for drugs. What's her loyalty to you?
2.
Yeah. So, if you asked her for something above and beyond drugs, like, "Hey, I need a place to hang out," she'd be like, I'll try to help.
Mm-hmm.
So, got to work on loyalties, got to work on connections, find the good people.
Right. Next, I want to make some bombs, some big ones, some car bombs.
A shop's availability is an 8 and costs 5k, and a facility is availability of a 12 and costs 50k.
Yeah, I won't be able to get the facility, just the shop.
All right, so we could do 2 shops, a demo shop and a chem shop.
Okay, so that'll be 10,000.
That'll be 10,000.
Okay.
Alrighty then. The explosives they talk about: ammonium nitrate, ANFO, commercial explosives, dynamite, foam explosives, gunpowder, liquid explosives, nitroglycerin, plastic explosives, and TNT.
Plastic explosives, that would sound good.
Now, looking at this list, normal plastic explosives for 15 is going to cost rating times 100. but it is a forbidden thing. It's a 16F, which means you need to find somebody who can particularly deal in explosives to get it. But if you choose to make it yourself, it is rating times 200, and the materials are restricted. You need to find a chemist to get it, or you yourself go out and start shopping for it. It's an 8R. It's actually not that hard to find. So I think your character would know what he's looking for. Some good negotiations, and you could get your hands on some of the chemicals you're needing.
Okay. This is off topic, real quick question. Soon Lee, is that the house me and John stayed at?
Yan Yan. That was the trailer you and John stayed at. Yan
What
Yan's
was What was her name?
Yan Yan.
Okay. It's not Soon Lee then. Because I've got a name Sue Lee written down, and I'm trying to figure out who it is. But I don't know.
You want to buy stuff. What you're going to be doing is rolling your negotiation plus charisma. Your limit is your social versus the item's availability. That's what you've got going for you. If you have a contact that can do it, they roll their negotiations and charisma, and they add in their connectivity rating doubled to increase the amount of dice they get to play with.
Okay.
So, if you want the materials for plastic explosives, it's an 8R, which means you're going to have to go shopping for it. You got to talk to some shady people to get it. And if you roll bad, you can draw the attention of the police. What's your charisma plus your negotiation look like?
5.
Yeah, you got to get 8. It's not an extended test. So you need to find someone who can get you this stuff. Fixers are really good about finding that. Sonny is a fixer. Do you have any other fixers?
Trollface.
Trollface is a fixer.
And then the guy, and I didn't write. I just moved everything from one sheet to another, and I lost the guy that I used to live in his place.
Abdul,
that's it.
Yep.
Did I send you my character sheet? No? Okay.
I'm looking at some of the older notes. I don't see anything on Soon Lee. Mr. Papadopoulos.
It's okay. It's probably not important. I think who it was one of the early runs I did, delivering guns or something like that. It says he's from the Triad.
Oh, Soon Lee. Yeah, he bought guns. You're correct. Simper Sam hired you to run some guns to a Soon Lee. Soon Lee liked how quickly you got there. You're a really great guy. So he gave you a gun. That's who he was. So, who do you have that will help you find these chemicals?
I'm thinking the best one would be Abdul, if he's in. I don't know exactly what he works with. He's just a fixer.
Yeah.
But I've got the best, because with Trollface, I've only got a loyalty 2, connection 2.
Uh-huh.
With Abdul, I've got loyalty 3, connection 4.
Yes. All right. So, your contact point for Abdul was the stuffer shack he worked from.
Mm-hmm.
When you call that number, you don't get anything.
Okay. I'll take a drive out there.
Okay.
If I need to.
The building and the garage facility next to it, everything's been taped up with do not cross lines.
Right. Police lines?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they raided, and that's why I had to leave.
And that was a few months back, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, you need to make a memory roll, or you can make a logic plus intuition roll to try to figure out, he had some family, where he might go off to. If you have street knowledge, you could start asking around to see if you can find out where he's gone to. Maybe some local hangouts that you knew particularly where he would hide off to.
Okay, street knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Plus logic.
Or I can do intuition and logic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that.
Okay.
5 successes.
You remember him talking about having family. up in Sonomish and running a few Stuffy Shacks up there. And so you remember off the top of your head one which you think he might have family at.
Okay. I'll try to head out there. I'll take, what did I name my car? Christine.
You'll take Christine?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I won't take Christine.
You won't take Christine? Okay.
No, because that's who I got it from, right. Yeah, I'll just take the van.
Okay. Getting out to the Stuffer Shack, the guy, how do you want to approach this? Because there's an Indian dude behind the counter. Welcome to Stuffer Shack.
I'll just kind of nod hello. And I'll ask him if he knows Abdul.
Do you have a last name for Abdul?
No, I don't.
You just...
I would know it, but I don't.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to assume that you know his last name.
Yeah.
What was the loyalty on Abdul?
3.
The guy tells you, No, I do not know Abdul. I don't know who you're talking about. Never heard the name. He definitely starts, sorry, I can't help you.
I'll show him 50 yen.
All right, there's other people standing in a line at this point in time.
Oh, there.
Yeah, so he's just like, no, I don't take your money. I don't take your money. I don't know who you're looking for. Thank you. Come again.
All right, I'll walk out. I don't want to make a scene.
Okay.
Is there a type of role you can do that's like sense motive kind of?
Judge intent.
Judge intent?
Yes.
Is that a skill?
Yes.
I don't have it then.
Oh, no, I apologize. It's an attribute. It should be with your memory and composure.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got a 7.
All right, so roll 7 dice.
1 success.
Yeah. You, as far as you can tell, the guy was being honest.
Do I know any other places to go with my memory roll?
Yes, there was in downtown, there was a kebab place that he and he'd go hang out with some of his relatives at, and eat lunch, have shawarmas.
Like all the time? Like every day?
No. I got on a rare occasion.
What time is it?
Whatever time you need it to be.
The place, so this is a shack that sells, what, like a convenience store, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it open like 24/7?
Yes.
I'm going to hang out there, and I want to see if that guy leaves.
Okay.
If he leaves, I might do something. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait right now. So I'm going to sit in my car, kind of inconspicuously.
Mm-hmm. The van, not the car.
Or the van, yeah, the van. And wait to see if he walks out at all. Or if there's a point where there's no one in there.
You get to the point where there's no one in there before he leaves.
Is it late?
It's like between the lunch rush and the get out of work rush. 3-ish.
Oh, man. I kind of want to wait till later.
Okay, you can wait till later.
Oh, yeah, I want to wait till later.
All right. Shift changes out around 5 o'clock, and then he leaves.
Okay. Just before, so say around 4:30.
Uh-huh.
Is there anyone in there?
Yeah, but they're in the middle of changing shifts, so there's like a bunch of people working. But he's getting off shift to leave, so it's like the people come in.
Okay, so I'm going to wait outside for him. And when he gets to the car, as soon as he gets in the car, I'm going to pull up behind him.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So that he can't back out.
All right.
And I'm going to hop out, and I'm going to have a gun on me. I'm not pulling it out. I'm not showing it.
Right.
But I'm just letting you know I have my gun ready. And I'm going to walk up and knock on his window. And how does he react?
Oh, God. Let's see. As you pull the van behind him and he's getting ready to put it in reverse, he sees it. As you begin walking up, he's just like he rolls his window down and he's like, "You need to move. I need to move."
Hold on a minute, bub. I just want to ask you a few questions. I want to try this again, and we're going to see if you can help me out the correct way this time. I have an old friend by the name Abdul, and it's very important that I find this person. I owe him some things. I would like to find out how he's doing. I'm concerned about him. And I also have some things I need to get from him, too. So are you going to help me?
Let's see if he's going to try to play dumb. Let's see. The dice rolls say he's not a dumb man. But at the same time, he's also got to worry about his family, because Abdullah is part of his family. So this is how he plays it off. He sits there and goes, "I don't know who you're talking about. You're talking about somebody I don't know about. You're blocking me in. I've got to get going." So he's trying to fast talk him.
I think you do know who I'm talking about. I don't want to hurt him or anything. I would never. Yeah. Let me think of a way to say this. Abdul is a person who helped me out a lot, and I need to repay him. I'm not looking to hurt anyone. I want to help him.
Yeah, because you do look like a rather intimidating individual. I mean, gangers with spiked hair do go around
right
people. So, he's...
And I'm talking very calmly and slowly.
Make a charisma plus negotiation. I'm going to leave it into your dice roll at this point in time. It's very iffy. I'd like at least 2 successes. 1 success will blow you off. All right. He sits there and goes... In Indian, he says some things, and then Hindi, I apologize. He says some things in Hindi, and then he pulls out a business card and he writes something on it, and he goes, "Call this number, Abdul will talk to you. Maybe. I don't know."
I'll grab the card and I'll say, "Thank you very much. That's all I needed. May you have a wonderful day." And I'll get back in my car and let him out.
All right, so, yeah. Bam, the guy drives off after you let him out. See, that didn't even resort to needing to pay him $50.
Right.
There you go. All right, so now what?
So I'll give a call.
It goes straight to a voicemail.
I'll say, "Hey, if this is Abdul, please call me. This is George. I just want to find out if everything's okay. I haven't heard from you in a while. Talk to you later."
All right. Not even 20 minutes later, the phone rings back. And on the other end, you hear Abdul's voice. George, it's you. I am so good to hear that you are okay. How is your father?"
My father is gone.
Oh.
He was killed in an accident just a day before everything shit went down back at your place.
I am so very sorry to hear of your loss. He was a good man. He tried very hard.
He was a great man.
I'm sorry that I disappeared on you. Things got really crazy when the place got raided. I did not want to run risks, so I'm very glad, very happy you caught back up with me.
Yeah, so is everything okay? I mean, did you get in any trouble or?
No, I did not get in any trouble. I have my cousin is a lawyer, and he took care of lots of things, and I'm fine. Yes, I'm very fine.
Excellent. I'm so glad to hear that.
It's been business as usual.
Good. Speaking of business, I have some things I would like to see if you could find for me.
Can we meet up?
Sure. That would be great.
Then I do this for you, George. We meet up and we'll have lunch.
That would be excellent. How about that? How about that shawarma place you were always talking about?
Yes, I always promise to take you there. We go there now. We
Great.
talk about your father. All right, so we can fast forward to the meeting, unless you have anything else you want to prep before going there.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Upon arriving, is there anything in particular you want to do? It's a open air kind of fast food stuffer shack kind of combination, mom and pop, called New Delhi Deli, and it's just open straight to the street. Either side, the walls, one's filled with magazines and stuff and freezers. It's just a straight shot all the way back to the back of the building. And along one side, there's a little indented bar where they serve food and whatnot and make sandwiches from it. So, yeah, that's it.
I'll just walk in and grab a table somewhere away from everyone.
Yeah, at the back area, there's like a few side tables, just 2-seater tables at the back area. And Abdul comes in after you, and he ignores the shopkeeper saying hello. He says hi to them and immediately walks back to you in the back area.
And if the waiter comes, I'll order, just a simple sandwich or whatever.
There's no waiter.
There's
no waiter. You just get up, you order it yourself, and then you go sit back down.
Oh, well, I'll do that.
Yeah. So he comes and he immediately wants to give you a hug.
Yeah.
And he sobs for a moment and says, "I miss your father. Father was a good man. I'm sorry to hear for your loss."
Yeah, it hit me pretty hard. I went through some dark times after that. But things are going a lot better now.
That's good. I'm glad to hear the van's helping you. I see it outside.
Oh, yes, in many ways.
He sits there and pulls out a picture of your father and him doing some work, loading stuff from a van into the stuffer shack itself. He was there when we moved into that building. My second wife took this picture of your father helping me. Always good to work.
Yeah, that's definitely him. And I get a little teary-eyed a little bit, but I don't really say much as far as my dad goes. Yeah.
This is Abdul's chance to kind of reminisce about a guy that he knew in good passing. And so he takes that moment to talk about a few of the small stories about your father. Not to bring up sore wounds or anything, but just for him a chance to, recollect that he's lost a friend.
Yeah.
After he does so, his conversation moves into talking about the fact that his place got raided and they took everything. They took his tools, they took his equipment, they took all the cars. The only one he knows that actually got anywhere was the van. He's glad at least that's being used for something. They even took the demon car because, they took everything. They said that he was...
the demon car?
Yes.
Does he actually say it like the demon car?
Yeah, he says the demon car.
Say the demon car, huh?
Yeah, they took that too. They took everything of mine. They still are saying that I did terrible things, and my lawyer, my cousin, he is fighting to get all my things back. I've already told him ahead of time I don't want the car back. If they have it, then it'll kill them instead.
I try to hide a grin when he says that.
Okay.
Hopefully he doesn't notice it.
We shall see. His judge intent is probably at least 5 or 6 dice. We'll say 4 dice. We'll say 4. Nope. No, he doesn't notice. He's more wrapped up in the moment talking about this experience. So
what? So what are they saying that you did?
Gun smuggling, people smuggling. They say I'm a Shadowrunner, that I do illegal work and I trade in businesses and do illegal businesses like laundering money and stuff like that.
Not you. You're such a stand-up guy.
He smiles. He smiles the knowing smile. Yes, I am. I work really hard, and everything I do is very legitimate. I work very hard for my stuffer shack. I worked very hard for the company, and as technology dropped me the moment they found out I was being investigated. But those are old times, and Now I run a mechanic shop up in Sonomish where I fix tractors, and it is good. It is good work. I work with my family, and I work with my hands, and I still do some side work. And he reaches out and he touches you on the back of the head. I do side work.
Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that, because I was wondering if there were some things you could get me.
He nods. In the conversation, when he was talking about your father, did you tell him what happened in the end after the accident?
As far as what?
Like the hospital and...
Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah, I'll tell him all about that. I went to the hospital and they wanted all kinds of money that I didn't have. So I kind of, how do I say it? I pretended to pay for one of the best options, and I gave him a really good burial, but I didn't really pay for it.
He'll smile at that. You can go ahead and increase your loyalty to him by 1 as he's like, stick it to the man. Because Abdul does not like corporations.
Okay.
Now it's time to talk about getting stuff. Alright, so what's his connectivity?
4.
Alright, so what is it that you want him to find?
So what chemicals do I need for plastic explosives?
Game mechanic wise, it's just generic.
Just plastic. I want to buy the plastic.
Yeah, the plastic used for explosives, which is an 8R rating. Alright, so I'll do it over here on the dice roll just so you can see what I'm talking about. So he gets his charisma of 4. And then he gets 5 for his negotiation. Gives him 9. Target number is 5. And we're rolling d6s. And his social limit is increased because of his connection. That's all that really changes. So he's got 9 dice and needs to make 8 successes. It's going to be pretty hard for him to do. It should be impossible. But if he asks for up to 400% increase, he gets an extra 12 dice, which turns it into 21. Now, his social limit normally is a 5, but because of his connection, that makes his social limit a 9. He can succeed if he's got enough dice. So 21 dice rolled, I get 8 successes. So he has to get a 400% markup on the actual chemicals to succeed in getting you these things.
How much would that be? If I wanted 3 pounds, or how much per pound?
Per pound doesn't matter. It's per rating.
Not kilo, I mean. Kilo, right?
Yeah, it's per kilo and it's per rating. So this is the cost, if I'm understanding this correctly, this is the cost per kilo. So what rating did you want?
15.
15. All right, so 15. So 200 times 4 means 800 times 15. And it's 12,000 for 1 kilo of 15 rating explosives.
12,000
for a 1 kilo of materials.
Does that sound right to you?
Well, you are talking about a damage value of 30. That'll blow the fuck out of a vehicle. And remember, okay, so an important thing to think about. You're thinking that it goes boom, 30 points of damage right there. But it doesn't. It does 30 here, 28, 26, 24, 22, 20, 18, and it keeps going out.
So you multiplied it by 15?
It's 15 doubled, so it's 30 at the...
No, I'm sorry. When you did the price, how did you calculate the price? You did...
It's rating times 200, and because the way we make this work out is he has to ask for, higher buying costs to get those extra bonus dice.
15 times 400?
15 times 800.
800. So if I lowered it to 12 times 800, right? I'm doing that right?
That's 9,600 for a kilo worth.
A kilo. So 1,000. 12 would do 24 damage.
To that 1 meter, 22 to the next meter, 20. Because it expands out. So For every meter, it loses 2 points of damage, so that explosion would be...
Now, how many more? Because you said my van had a 20 hitbox. What would like a typical car have?
We'll use a Suzuki Mirage, which is a rather average car. It has a body of 5, so you're looking at...
That's a lot lower than 16.
12.
So yeah.
And then what happens when you cut 12 in half? Let's see, it's half of the body, so 5 becomes 2, we round to 3, so it's got a 15 body. Or 15 boxes.
15 boxes?
Yes.
And then if it's got like an armor of 5...
Actually, it has an armor of 6, so that gets cut down to 3, then you minus 2, so it becomes a 1. Alright, so let's say you have that car parked here, with an explosives of 12 in it.
I'm thinking 10 maybe. I think 10 might be enough.
The cars that are next to that, so that's an explosion that's going to radiate out 20, and every 2 it goes 10 meters out. So your explosion here, 10 meters in this direction and 10 meters in this direction is where the end of the explosion is going to be. So it's going to be a 20-meter fireball. And all the radius is a 10 meter, so 20-meter diameter fireball.
Oh, meters. That's huge. That's huge.
Yes. 1 meter is 3 feet.
Yeah. So that's 60 feet. That's too big. I don't even want it that big.
Well, that's good news. That means you can bring it down some.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So then if I want to bring it down to device rating 8 would be 16 points of damage. So to cripple a car, you don't need to do all 16 hitbox points worth of damage, right?
Yeah, you can give it enough negatives that doesn't run right. Also, we need to go to the demolition skill real quick. Demolition section real quick and read something. All right, explosives are primarily used to damage structure. Demolition skills prepared, used to identify key or weak structural points. Each hit on demolitions adds 1 to the explosive's effective rating. So, what's your character's demo skill?
6.
What's his logic?
Is 6.
You have 12 dice. What's your mental limit?
6.
So, if you rolled, the best you could do is add 6 more to the effective rating of your charge. Remember, damage value is equal to the effective rated doubled. So, if you slap on a rating 8 and you get 6 successes, it becomes damage value of an effective rating of 14, which turns into a 28.
Okay.
So there's the other end of it. There's the other end of it, your skill.
Gotcha. For the price for that, it would be 8, like if I did rating 8 times 800 for the price. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit better. I can get... So let me see how many 3 of those would be. Almost 20,000. Yeah, I'll do it.
Could you imagine if you tried to pull off one of those like 15ers? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got some little demo. We're gonna blow it.
Yeah.
Gears, the army's coming. What the
You
fuck did you do?
that a little bit.
You fucking called the army down on us.
I'm debating whether I need to drop the rating even more, though.
Yeah.
Because that's still huge.
It is. Explosives are supposed to be one of those, oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can bring it down to 6. Minimum is going to do 7. That's 14 damage right there.
Yeah. And then if they've got 5 armor, though, that would be 9 damage still. And that's minimum. Minimum 9.
Minimum 9.
Oh. 6 times 800.
That's one more thing. This is a blast. If you make those explosives directional, that changes.
Okay.
Normal blast, which is circular, is minus 2 damage per meter. If you make it directional, it's minus 1 damage per meter. That's why your blast caps are able to do so much with so little explosives.
Right.
So a directional, instead of being a blast that is only 9 meters, would end up being 18-meter blast direction unless all the damage got absorbed.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do device rating 6.
6. times he's able to get, so with jacked up price, 4,800 per kilo worth of materials.
Yeah. And I want
3 kilos times.
3 kilos. So it's 14,400.
Okay. All right. And it is going to take him about a week to get all this material together.
Okay. And I forgot. I wanted to, while we were talking, when we were talking about the place getting raided, I wanted to let him know that I was there when they raided it. And I want to tell him the story about how I, escaped out the back, and then a cop followed me, and I had to knock the cop out with the butt of my gun and haul ass and tell him about where I went to. And I'm in the Red Mons.
Okay. Well, he's glad to hear that you're okay. He's glad to be working with you again. He's glad to hear that you're doing better for yourself. I mean, this is a pretty large purchase. You've never purchased this much. So he hopes that whatever you're doing is making you good money, and that you keep old Abdul in mind if there's other expenditures. Now, he needs to get paid for doing all this for you.
Yes.
So we'll say 500. That's his take on it. He wants to get paid 500 yen for finding people and moving chemicals. That's it. Because his loyalty to you was what again?
4 now.
Yeah. He's luring you in. He's giving you a little discount now, so you'll come back and work with him, buy more stuff, and then he'll jack it up a little bit later. Loyalty's still good. He knows you're good for it, and he knows that you'll be good for money later. So right now, you're getting a freebie, kind of.
Yeah, that's fine.
Everybody gets one. That's what Cassie just said. So, you have a week of time before that actually gets around, and then it's cooking time.
And before I leave, I want to let him know if he needs anything. I'm going to let him know what my expertise is. As you can tell, it's a little bit of demo, a little bit of mechanics, a little bit of fast driving. If you ever need me for anything, I'll give him my number. But I'll let him know from now on, call me Years. George is going to be dead soon.
Okay. No problem, Gears. And he says, don't call me on your phone ever again. That's the next thing he wants to set up. He's going to hand you a burner phone.
Okay.
This phone has one use. It is a Metalink. Don't ever turn it on unless you really need him. It only uses one thing. It's got his number in it. And when he sees this number call, he'll know it's you. So he programs it into his device. This is how I make sure that all the people I keep in contact with do not have people following them. Don't use your regular phone to contact me. Only use that Metalink right there. Don't put a SIN on it. Don't have it associated with anything. If for whatever reason you find out something bad happened to me, throw it away. Get rid of it.
Okay.
But this is our direct link.
Sounds good.
All right, so you have a week to wait for those chemicals to show up. And then it's time to start doing some dice rolling.
While I'm waiting that week, I do want to do that stuff where I drive out to that company. I just wrote it down. Auto Tech or something like
Titanium Tech.
Yeah.
That's in Chicago.
Right.
So you're going to take a trip to Chicago.
Yeah.
All right.
We can do that after we dice roll the other or whatever.
No, because something else is about to happen.
Okay.
It's been a few days. Things have mellowed out. Odysseus has left your place. He hasn't really said where he's going. He just left. Okay. He took his friends with him, and they haven't been back around. The Wiggly Finger guy, he's disappeared too. So it's just you and Trixie hanging out. Trixie's been kind of busy. You've been kind of busy. This is at least a day after getting done with Abdul. And you're gathering a bag, getting ready. Are you going to take the demon car out to Chicago, or are you going to take the van?
I'm going to take the van.
That's where the Titanium Tech is at. He wants to physically go there. Oh. Okay, so you're going to take the van. We'll say you're maybe heading out in the early morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're getting everything together. What phones are you taking with you?
I'm going to take both my phones.
So you're taking the Metalink that Abdul uses?
Well, I have two other phones that I use too. I've got one phone that I've used for George, one phone I use for Gears.
Okay. As you're getting everything ready, you notice you have a voicemail message. And it's from Sunny, and it's on the Gears phone.
Okay.
You didn't hear the phone ring or anything, you just... Yeah.
Okay, I'll check the message.
Okay, so, the message is very quick and to the point, and you can tell that she is she has a very stressed out tone in her voice, even though she's trying to sound a little bit, I guess, faking cheerful, like everything's cool. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you've known her long enough to know, like, the tiny idiosyncrasies that kind of point out that this is really important. So she says, "Hey Gears, it's Sunny. I have a job for you. I need you to get to the Sunshine Motel at 3801 Pacific Highway in Tacoma. You're going to park outside room 106. I have a friend that needs to get to Portland ASAP. I told him to expect a blue ZL1 Turbo Camaro. Once he has messaged me that you've picked him up, I will forward you $1,500. Once he notifies me that he's arrived at the Portland Expo Center, I will forward you another $1,500. I'd prefer to get him there in 6 hours after sunrise. If you can get him there sooner, I will forward you a bonus of $1,000 for every hour you cut down his arrival time. If you have not picked him up by an hour after sunrise, I will take it as declining the job and we'll make other arrangements. Thanks, Gears. I really appreciate you helping my friend out." Done.
Okay. So I got an hour after... That was good. An hour after sunrise. Is it an hour after sunrise yet?
No,
you guys...
this is before sunrise.
Yeah.
I assume that you would be getting up early. You're about to drive to Chicago. That's not like hey, let's just go. No, you get on the road, you get heading early in the morning, right? So we're assuming it's what? 4:30, 5 o'clock right now in the morning. Sun comes up around 6:30.
Probably 6:30, yeah. So you would have until 7:30 to pick him up and start moving him to Portland.
Okay. I'll head out to Tacoma.
Yeah. And so So essentially you have from 6:30 to 6 hours from now. 12:30? 12:30 to get him to Portland.
Okay. I will take the blue car and head out and try to call Sunny on the way there to let her know that I'm on my way.
You don't get an answer. It doesn't even go to voicemail.
Like, this line has temporarily been disconnected.
Yeah, that's what it says. Okay. This line has been temporarily disconnected. If you've dialed this number in error, please hang up and try again.
I will, I'll head there then, as fast as I can.
The normal trip from the Barrens to Tacoma, you plotted out, it's going to be at this time in the morning, about a 40-minute drive. So we'll say it's 5:30?
And he's expecting me at 7?
No, he's expecting you as soon as possible.
Okay.
Alright, so the way that the average Joe drives, it's a 40-minute drive from the Barrens, cross some highways in the early morning traffic. Now, this is the early morning, so there's no bikers out at this point, no cops, no nothing. It should be open roads and nothing but, whatever the weather has decided to throw at you. So, if you drive like a normal sane person, you're going to get there well before 6:30. We'll say we're starting at 5:30 when you've got this message, you're sitting in your van.
Okay.
Do you want to take anything with you?
Just a couple guns. I want to have my van following me, but it doesn't have to keep up. It can just follow slowly.
Okay.
Like normal speed.
Yep. Okay, can do. You can do that. Tell it that this is the main car and it'll be some distance behind. Now, looking forward, how long does it take to get from Seattle to Portland?
I don't know.
That's what your character should figure out, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so make a streetwise plus logic roll.
So you mean Seattle roadways plus logic? 5 is 11. 5 successes.
It's as the standard Joe drives. That's about a 3-hour drive, as long as you don't hit traffic. You hit traffic, it could be 3.5, maybe 4 hours.
Okay.
Which, if you pick him up at 6:30, you'll get there at 10:30. If you drive casually, that'll net you an
Can
extra.
I pick him up before 6:30?
Yeah, if you drive faster.
Yeah, I want to drive fast.
Okay.
I need some money. I want to go as fast as I can.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Kind of like you were delivering that one guy to the airport first time you did a job for Trollface.
Exactly.
Okay. So you're taking some of your RF indicators with you to hop on some highways?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's start hacking some stuff here. All right, so the first thing is it's a electronic warfare plus logic. Are you going to hit yourself some psych to get you some bonuses?
Sure. 10. And I get 2 from psych?
Psych gives you a plus to your logic and intuition, a +1. It also increases your mental limit by 1. And since this is a logic test, that's an extra dice.
4 successes.
Alrighty then. So you immediately drive up onto and gain access to the superhighways and begin heading down to Tacoma. The drive, which is supposed to take 40 minutes in the early morning, now the problem's going to be the van won't be able to follow you on the superhighways. It will have to
Won't be able to get on?
Won't be able to get on. Because it won't have the indicator in the van saying, hey, I'm legitimate to get onto this high-speed highway.
Okay, it can take other roads as long as it's like within 30 minutes of me.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour of me, something like that.
Yeah, just as long as you have your backup because, on that is your Dalmatian.
Exactly.
Did you want to put the Doberman in the back seat of the car?
Yes.
Okay, so you've got your Doberman in the car and your Dalmatian on the van.
Yes.
I for some reason hear the phrase "Who let the dogs out?" coming around real soon. All right, so with using the hack, instead of taking 40 minutes to get across town, it only takes you 15 minutes to get into Tacoma. Another 5 minutes to pull up into the Sunshine Motel parking lot and begin cruising. Your car has AR and access to the Matrix, which is our part of the whole kit and caboodle. So it's not hard for you to plot out exactly where room 106 is and pull up in front of it. 6 a.m., you're there. 6:01, you notice that somebody from room 106 looks out.
I'll wave.
All right. Whoever it is, doesn't look like they wave back. By 6:03, your phone goes boop, letting you know somebody has deposited 1,500 yen into your account.
All right.
With a smiley face. A man comes walking out. He's got bandages on his head. He looks pretty fucked up. He's got some shit on his throat, one of those braces. He's got a duffel bag, pretty large duffel bag. You can see chrome, and he looks pretty messed up. Looks like he got into a fight with something bigger than him and barely survived. His eyes are cybernetic. I mean, blatantly cybernetic. And he's got a chrome dome head. He's wearing a hat with a baseball hat pulled over it. He walks over to the car and stands next to it.
Hop in.
All right, so he opens the door and he goes to throw the duffel bag into the back and sees the Doberman. And he's going to try to lower it. You can hear it sounds like guns are in the duffel bag as he lowers it in. He also puts in a little naval bag into the floorboard as he pulls in. Maybe it's got clothes or something in it. It doesn't stink. He smells just fine, like he's been cleaned up. But you can definitely see he's got bandages all over him, and most of them have blood kind of seep through the bandage, So you can see that he's been through some shit. He squeezes in, doesn't say anything, shuts the door, and buckles up.
I'm going to say, hold on tight.
Like, take off? Like, slam.
I'm not going to peel out. But...
Oh, okay. Well, describe it to me. I mean, this is your thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna step on it. Now, I know I'm going to have to turn out of the parking lot, so I can't just cruise up to 100 right away, but, I'm going to just step on it. It's all business, no talking, just drive through the parking lot, get to where I need to go, and then as soon as I'm on the road, I'm going to floor it.
All right. So there's a superhighway that runs between downtown Seattle all the way to Portland. So you've got to go back to downtown Seattle to get there. To get onto that so that you can shoot straight south.
Right.
Or you can just get on the highway and head the normal way. And if you take the superhighway, it's going to take you about 2 hours and 15 minutes. If you take the normal way, it's going to take you about 3 hours. And you're going to be driving through traffic and possible police scanners and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to take the superhighway or whatever.
All right. So as you begin driving that direction, he begins watching and he sits there and goes, Portland's to the south. Where are we going?
We're going to take the fast way.
You can tell he's really confused. He looks over at the dog and the duffel bag is just like, but Portland's to the south. How is this faster?
Because we're going to take the super freeway.
All right. At that point, make a negotiations plus charisma. One success. That's all you needed. He's going to sit back and relax a little bit. Okay, so now it's time to do your electronic warfare. You reach into the back, grab out another.
Yeah, an RF.
Yep. You are marking these things off as you go through them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
2 successes.
That's all it takes. Just takes 2. If you had got 1, you would have hit detention, in which they would have pushed you off into a side thing and said, hold up, and that's where you had done a lot more fuckery to try to get out of it. I tell you what, if you can give me a description of how this looks.
So, yeah, I'm going to get on the entrance ramp, let go of the steering wheel for a little bit, but I'm still controlling it with my thing, and then, I'm going to plug some numbers into the RF transmitters, and as soon as I hit it, I see the ledge open up or whatever, the wall, right?
Steel barricades, yeah.
I see them go down, and the second they go down, or even before they go down, I'm going to floor it, even before they go down, because I'm that confident that it's going to open.
I like that. That's good. All right, so as you zip through it, you can definitely see he does the whole lean back in the seat as you're heading toward those steel pylons. And then poof, you shoot through it. The rain at this speed goes up your windshield. When it hits, it doesn't it just blurs back up. And so the windshield wiper, when the one windshield wiper shoots across. No, I don't know if you've ever been in some of those sports cars where the windshield wiper doesn't move like a normal windshield wiper does.
Yeah.
We see them do like this. This one just kind of like slides. Does this whole slide thing.
Yeah, and also with the car like that, it would probably have the Rain-X. Rain-X is going to be huge, so people don't have to use their wipers as much because the water will just roll right off the windshield. So I'm pretty sure that's on every single person's car in that area.
Hell yeah. Rain-X is making money. They're like, oh, calamity, it's always raining in Seattle. And we see money. One of the things I'm going to introduce into the game are umbrella drones. Basically a drone that will follow you around, and it has an umbrella on top of it, so as you begin heading toward outside where it detects rain, it immediately turns into a big umbrella that hovers behind you. Rich people would have those. You hit the highway, and mile markers begin flying by quickly. He sinks into his seat as you get toward the sign that says Seattle City Limits, SIN ID check ahead, which basically means as you're flying down the road, the system's going to check your ID. What ID do you have running?
Now, does that mean either Gears or George?
Yeah.
It'll be Gears.
Okay. What's Gears rating?
This is for my ID rating?
Yeah.
3, I think. Let me check that. Yeah, it'd be my fake license, which is a 3.
2 successes. Alright, as you're flying down the highway, making incredible amount of time, directly south of Seattle, once you get out of the Seattle area, is part of the North American Native Territories. NAN. In Illinois, it's called NAN. Between here and Portland, you're trying to get through hostile territory and get into Tirnanog. Tirnagir, the elf territory, is what Portland is. The elves took over that part of Washington State. There is no moment of worry. No helicopters, no drones, no police. This superhighway, for the most part, keeps you elevated above the other traffic. At times, it merges down into the road and then comes back up when it elevates over small areas, rivers, and stuff like that. The ride should take 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is where you, as a skilled driver, get to push the limits.
Yeah, I'm going to use jerry rigging.
To make the car go faster? Alright, so this is all a speed test. Your speed is your limit, and when you jury rig, you're able to push the speed of your car. Jury rigging character receives a +2 dice pool from mechanical tests when jury rigging gear. The game master decides what the character wants to accomplish. Let's see, wind reduce. Okay. Jury rig destroys the device, tweak electronics, temporary coax performance out of a vehicle, increasing its sensor or handling. Gearhead allows, during a vehicle chase and combat, Gearhead can increase the speed of the vehicle or drone by 20% or increase the handling by 1. You receive +2 die pool when attempting difficult maneuvers or stunts in the vehicle, and the bonus lasts for a d6 in minutes.
Gearhead is what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, because you're not jury rigging the car.
Right.
And a 20% increase to its speed would take it from a 6 to a 7. Now, I want to talk about those parentheses. Alright, what those parentheses represent is the armor is detachable. If you detach the armor, it goes from a 12 to a 6. But the speed increases from a 6 to an 8.
Okay, I'm going to detach the armor.
You'll drop a few 100 pounds of metal across the highway at this point in time.
No, I mean, I would have done that from the beginning.
Okay, alright, just to kind of, because remember the last time you did it, it takes hours to put that shit back on.
Right.
So right now so the car normally looks like a really fast armored vehicle, but right now it has all that off, and it has little nodules all over it where the armor plating actually attaches to. And, so right now your speed is an 8. And so with Gearhead, your speed is going to be a 9. That's your limit, the maximum number of successes you can get for this coming up test. And we're going to base this off a chase. Alright, so it is, are you hot simming in? And gives you an extra 2 dice. Okay, speed environment. Check. It is a reaction plus vehicle skill with your speed as your limit. For the test, each hit shifts the range category toward one of the opponents. Okay, we can work with that. And we're going to set a threshold. So the threshold is going to be... That sounds like a terrible idea. You're only gearing him up for failure. Well, no, that won't add drama to the situation. You're not helping. Yes, you're trying, and thank you so much for trying, but no, that's not... She wanted to set the threshold at 20. That would sound like a terrible idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible idea.
We're going to set the threshold at... Because you're on the superhighway, we're going to set it at 6. And every 6 successes represent an hour off of it. So you need a total of 12 successes to knock off 2 hours. And if you stumble for whatever reason, it takes longer. So you will get your reaction plus vehicle skill, an extra 2 dice because you are using Hot Simmed In. No, Hot Simmed In.
Hot Simmed.
Gearhead allows you get up to 9 successes.
Okay.
In one roll. Is what that's allowing to do.
Okay, so I'm rolling 13. 9 is the most I can get.
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
Ready. Oh my goodness.
What?
It's not a glitch.
1, 2, 3, 4 out of 13 are ones.
Oh my gosh.
But only one success out of the 13
Yeah.
dice. Do you want to spend an edge
Yeah, I want to spend an edge.
to what?
Reroll everything?
Second chance. Reroll all the dice that did not score a hit on the test.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
So you can reroll 12 dice.
Yeah. So 3
Three
more, so I got
successes.
4 successes.
4 successes on the first one. All right, so as you're driving down the highway, you're behind. Traffic on the highway has been just a little bit of a bitch. You're still flying. You're still going to make it there in an amazing amount of time, but you might not cut that 2-hour, 15-minute window that you set for yourself. All right, so now we go into our second roll. You have any more edge to work with?
No.
Do you have any experience points? Any karma you could play with?
I've got 4 karma.
Edge does not take any time to increase. You don't have to spend time studying anything to get edge increases. Let me find it real quick. Your current edge is a 1.
Yeah.
You and everyone else.
No, I don't think so. It's just the elves.
Improving edge is no time requirement, and your current edge of 1... No, it would cost 10 karma to increase it. I don't think you have that. Alright. You're just going to have to run with it on this. You know what? You're on a super highway. I'm going to let you roll 2 more dice. You should get some sort of bonus because you're on this highway instead of the regular one.
Okay, so this is adding 2 to the first roll. I got 1 more success.
So 5 successes.
So that's 5 successes.
Out of the 12 in total you need. So now you need 7 more successes on this next roll to make it within that 2-hour frame.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
And 1 more roll.
1 more roll?
All right, we'll figure out where we ended up with.
5 successes.
Could have swore it said 5 a second ago. So, yeah. 2 hours and 30 minutes later, at high speeds, you've zipped from Seattle down to Portland, Oregon. You picked them up at 6 o'clock. It's now 8:40.
8:30, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. As you're pulling into Portland. The drive through now this is where you do a handling test. This switches to your handling, where your gearhead will change your handling by 1. And what's the handling on the car? 5/3.
Yeah.
The first one, do you know what those numbers represent?
No.
On-road, off-road. So your on-road is a 5.
Okay.
So switching to town, your
Now,
limit...
hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Did the speed of the car play into my rolling at all?
No. The way the mechanics of this game work is it's your limit. That's your upper
Oh,
limit.
it affects your limit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Now it's your handling, which is a 5. Gearhead makes that a 6.
Okay.
You know what we also forgot?
What?
You have a rigor control. That gives you another dice to roll. So
Okay,
all of those dice rolls would have had 1 extra. So roll 1 for the first one. Nothing. Second. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta remember, anytime you do anything with a vehicle, always add 1 dice to it because of your rigor control.
Okay.
Alright, so next is a handling roll to get to the expo within a reasonable amount of time. So you're going to be rolling 16 dice, but your limit is going to be 6.
5
All right.
successes.
You get to the expo within 15 minutes, right before, it's like a quarter before 9 o'clock, as you become pulling up to a stop. He looks over to you, gives a nod, opens the door, grabs his duffel bag and his naval bag, and steps out of the car. He doesn't.
I'll wave.
Yeah, he doesn't wave. He doesn't say anything. Throws his naval bag over, takes and pushes the door shut, and starts walking off.
Okay, I'll just start heading back. Now, what did it say? How many hours before what time?
12 to 30
Okay,
for each hour before 12:30, and you got an extra K.
so it's 2.5 hours
Yep.
before 12:30. Okay.
Yep.
I would say it was 9:30, so it's 3 hours.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock.
3 hours.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
So 3.5 hours.
So do you want to pay extra for a half, or just a hole.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I got in there faster than I actually expected.
So yeah, about 9:30, you get a text message. You're like,
Yeah, so let's see, it'll be 1,500 plus another standard, so that's
45.
4,500. Yeah, so 5K.
Okay. As you begin rolling out of the Expo's parking lot, strange passengers wandering off toward the Expo building itself. Your phone goes, dee-dee-dee, letting you know that 5K just got deposited into your account with a smiley face.
All right. Thank you.
Do you give him like a message like, thanks for the good job or anything like that? Or just a smiley face?
Yeah, so probably I'll send a message, thanking him and to forget that this ever happened.
Forget what happened.
Smiley face back.
All right. So your trip to Chicago is slightly delayed, but now you're at least 6.5K more into, your time to Chicago is going to be at least that much more enjoyable, right?
6.5K.
Yeah.
She gave you 1,500 in the beginning.
Oh, plus 5. Okay.
Plus another 5K. No, it's a total of 6.5. You just got paid for driving really fast. By the way, you were picked up on several radars. People were like, who the fuck is that?
We're not going to catch up to that guy.
We're not going to catch that. We'll wait, see what happens. Besides,
yeah, on the way back, I'm going to take the highways and be real slow.
All right. Your van catches up to you and follows you home.
And I'm thinking I need to be here when that stuff comes in.
Yeah.
Do I?
Otherwise, he's going to hold on to it. I mean, you've probably paid him half up front.
Right. So I'm going to let him know that I might be a little late picking it up, a couple days late.
Okay.
I might not. I don't know.
Okay. He's fine with that.
And then I'll head out to Chicago.
All right. Road trip. It's a 3-hour, 40-minute flight, or it's a 30-hour drive. Or there's an option to take a train, which is 1 day and 21 hours.
No, I'm going to drive out there. I'll take like 3 days to drive out there. 10 hours a day.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, the good part is the van can technically drive without you driving it. You can just tell it what to do, and you can just be a passenger. That's the benefit of a pilot program. A lot of people do it. They put their cars on autopilot and go. That also creates a nice environment for a person who doesn't want to do that and who wants to fly, can get on the highway and fly, because pilot programs will move out of the way of cars that don't have the pilot program running. And so it clears out. So if you want to go fast, but the cops are still watching. So all pilot programs are going to drive the speed limit. They're going to form, what was that called? Semi-trucks used to get into convoys. Cars will all convoy up into the 2 lesser lanes, and they would begin going. And then, of course, some cars are gauged for a slower speed, so those cars are in the slow lane and the fast lane, and then there's always the fast lane where a car will try to pass. But if somebody's driving without the pilot program on, that notifies all the cars in the line, and they get the fuck out of the way. Because, human drivers make more mistakes. So you can get in, tell the van to go, and not really have to worry about it. You can even fall asleep at the wheel. But if a cop sees you on pilot and you're asleep at the wheel, they will pull you over and ticket you, because it's still illegal to drive with your pilot program running and you're not at the wheel. Which is ironic, because it's not illegal to tell your pilot program to drive a car home by itself without a driver.
Yeah.
So, of course, that's a catch-22. It's mostly on the lines of, if the pilot's driving itself home and it's doing 5 under the speed limit, cops not going to say anything. They don't care. If the pilot program is doing the speed limit or higher, the cops are going to pull it over and slap a massive ticket onto your license or your SIN number. So you've got that to think about. So you could do 30 hours of driving, but your van's going to run out of gas. There's toll booths, so you got to stop and pay those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in a hurry, so I don't need to drive 30 hours straight.
Okay.
I'm going to make it kind of a relaxing trip.
So it's going to take you about 3 days to get there, 3 days to get back.
Mm-hmm.
probably going to cost you about 150 yen in gas there and back. So that's a 300 yen right there. That also includes like road munchies. Since you're not hot simming in, it's just a normal reaction plus vehicle roll. You're trying to avoid failure. One success will make sure that the drive there is complete without any problems. A failure means something happened with the vehicle.
Reaction plus
Vehicle.
pilot.
Yep.
So just that.
Reaction plus pilot.
Do I add the one for my chip?
Yes, always.
4 successes.
Perfect.
How many do we need?
1. So the drive is going to be peaceful, decent. You get out on the other side of the mountains and there's no rain. That's the first thing. Your van has a chance to dry out. I make dice rolls to see if you get stopped at checkpoints as you're going along. Alright, getting out of Seattle, nothing. Getting from Salish Shadi, nothing. Sioux Nations, they take their stuff a little bit more seriously. 2, almost. And then finally, driving into the good old United Canadian American States. Alright, nothing there as well. Your ID doesn't flag cross-country driving. So you get in the good old UCAS, driving through some of the country roads and getting closer and closer to Chicago. You'll hear that Chicago is still under lockdown. Looking at the information that you've got on Titanium Tech, they are not located in the heart of Chicago, where everything went bad. What do you know about Chicago as far as it goes for Shadowrun World? Nothing. Do you remember the good doctor, the
Reverend.
The Reverend?
Reverend Cohen.
Alright. Remember the video footage you saw of him freaking out and turning into a half-bug man thing? Chicago was crawling with those things.
Of course, the general public didn't know that.
Yes, they were kept in hiding. They tried to hide a lot of it, but Chicago has gone into a lockdown. There are still exterminations going on to this day. Bug hunting is a thing, and it is in the news. There's nothing they can do to hide it. Chicago was a infested hive of alien bug creatures that were coming through astral space and devouring babies and people and terrible stuff like that. And do you remember how the good Reverend was able to take a punch to the face pretty easily? Yeah, multiply that into the hundreds. But Chicago still thrives on. Everybody outside the wall, everybody outside the detention zone, still trying to make ends meet and live. See, 3 days driving, so it's the 4th day that you'll be coming into Chicago in the early morning. So you stopped at a hotel, probably in Milwaukee, before you headed south towards Chicago. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Otherwise, you could have stopped in a hotel like in Rockford or something.
Well, I can't. There's no hotels outside of Chicago?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I'm tossing out ideas here, trying to...
No, I'd rather stay closer to Chicago.
Okay. So, Schaumburg. You're able to find a hotel in Schaumburg.
Okay.
Alright, so, bam. First day in Chicago. The air is smoky. You can see the skyline from where you're at. It looks like jagged teeth.
Huh.
What do you want to do?
What time is it?
Early in the morning. What time did you want to get up?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up relatively early, 8 o'clock, I guess.
Yeah, checkout's probably at 11.
I'm gonna pay for another day.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stay the night again after I investigate. So I'll head out to Titanium Tech.
You get about 8 o'clock in the morning, make a drive, take a short highway, you head north end of Chicago, you get off the freeway, you're following your indicator on your map, and you come to several sandy brown colored buildings. Very, very, very clean looking. Hedges and grass, all very, very nice. You can see a drone out mowing the grass right now. You can see some sort of car display front room to it. Big windows, cars sitting in it. This looks like a really nice showroom. Several bay doors down one length of the building. One of them's open. You can see what looks like to be a shop as you're pulling up. The rest of it seems to be like a really fancified car dealership. The front area is semicircular. It's a sign that says service desk and points an arrow off to one side. There doesn't seem to be cars parked for sale, but just cars on the inside of the building. There's a parking lot, and
I'm going to head in to front desk and ask whoever's at the counter. I need to inquire about a vehicle that was made here and an employee that used to work here. Who should I talk to?
The lady behind the desk is a well-dressed wage slave who says, "Of course, I'll be more than happy to assist you. Do you have any, do you have the VIN number of the vehicle in question?"
Yeah, does the car have a VIN number?
No, I'm pretty sure he took the VIN number off, but it was in the paperwork. Yeah, so yeah, it has a VIN number. It's just not on the car.
Yeah, I'll tell her the VIN number.
Okay, she begins plugging away into her system. And she says, "Yes, I do have somebody that can help you with that. And what was the name of the individual you wanted to talk to?"
The individual was Myron Spites.
Myron Spites.
He doesn't work here anymore. I just wanted to know if he worked here, when he worked here, stuff like that.
Okay, I can check up on Myron. And you would be?
I am a private investigator. The name is Ryan Sidcrest.
Sincrest?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Sincrest. Give me one moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you will stand there and you see modified Suzuki Mirage sitting off to one side, Mitsubishi Night Sky that has an extra set of wheels on the back end of it. You're like, wow, you see some serious modification stuff. On the wall, you see that they are boasting about their rigger support controls that they can implant into semi-trucks as well as other drones and stuff. So you definitely see that they support rigging technology here, or at least implanted in the vehicles. A woman comes walking by. She's got a little clipboard, and hovering behind her is a drone. And, it's like filming her actions as she's walking around. So this seems to be a pretty upbeat, high-tech looking place.
I really should have brought Alan on this one.
You're out of your league. Well, maybe you can smooth talk with just your individual knowledge might be what can save you here. A man comes walking up, short cropped curly hair. He has the salesman appearance, buttoned up shirt and tie, baby blue, matches his eyes, and he sits there and says, "Hi, how you doing? Mark?"
Doing great.
Mr. Sincrest?
Yes, I am Ryan, yes.
Ryan, great to meet you, Ryan. Lucy tells us told me that you had some questions about one of our older vehicles that we produced, as well as somebody who might have worked here.
Yes. The vehicle I want to inquire about it's a Camaro Z, what was it, 19?
A ZL1.
ZL1. It was made in this blah, blah, blah year. I don't know what year offhand. A character would.
It's a 2033 that was modified back in the 2050s.
Okay, so it wasn't made here, but you guys modified it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And was the person that worked on it, was his name Myron Spite?
It's a possibility. Lucy says that you're a detective?
Yes.
Can I see your ID, please?
Yes. I'll show him a fake ID.
All right. You have a fake detective's ID?
No.
No?
I don't.
All right, so you're going to fake a detective's ID and flash it to him.
Yes.
So it's like your cookie company card or something.
Right.
All right, this is a con job. Do you have con?
No.
Do you have charisma?
Let me see. I have sneaking.
No, that's not going to help you.
No, I have a little bit of charisma.
All right, so default to your charisma. Let's do this. So you're flashing him a card fast enough so that he doesn't pay attention to it.
2
successes. All right, he sees it. He's like, I understand. Not a problem. I'm only going to need the number from that badge because if I have to write up a report on this. Let me see what I can find out about. What was the name again?
Was it Myron Spiked? Speighgt.
Sure, I'll see what I can find out about Myron. Do you have that VIN number for me, sir?
Yes, I'll give him the VIN number.
He takes it with. Just stay here, hang out. We have a concierge over there. You can get something to drink. We also have some snack foods over there. It'll take me a little while to get all the necessary information.
Okay, thank you.
So he wanders off. You don't know. Do you want to make a judge intent to see if he believed your?
Yeah. So I roll 7. 2 successes.
You think it passed. He seems to have taken it, and he wanders off and starts banging away on his keyboard. Lucy smiles at you as you're working. You know, every once in a while you catch a glance and whatnot. What do you want to do while he's fiddling around?
Yeah, I'll just play around on my phone.
Okay.
And I want to keep an eye on him, just make sure nothing suspicious is happening. Maybe keep an eye outside so I don't see police coming up or something like that.
Okay. After a little while of playing on his computer, he makes a phone call. And then you can see he's listening on the phone, messing with his computer, doing some stuff. You see he starts printing up some paperwork.
Okay, I'm good for now.
He comes out after a little while, and he sits there. He will come out and he will say, Mr. Sincrest, that VIN number you gave me is one from when the company started a long time ago, and is one that it took a little while to find some information on, but I was able to find it. It was one of our older projects, a remodel that we did of a very nice vehicle that went out of style some time ago. The ZL1 Turbo is a very exciting car from what I understand. And we have a list of modifications that was done to it in particular. And Myron was the individual who did work on it. But Myron no longer works here. He quit. He retired about 7 years ago.
So he worked on the car for himself. Is that something your employees commonly do?
He says, yes, Myron did work on it, and then after the project was finished, he turned it over to the company to sell. He worked with another individual to restore it and put it back together. We don't have that individual's name, but we do know that he was the one who bought it from us. What was the name of the first owner?
First owner was Myron.
Yes. Okay, then I have it wrong. Myron was the one, yes. So Myron worked on it, and then he purchased it from the company with all the changes. So he gets the car, he makes the modifications with the assistance of the company, refurbishes, rebuilds, and then he buys the car itself.
Okay.
From them. And then he did retire 7 years ago. Because retirement was not an option for him.
Yeah. Is this what the guy says to me?
He says, Myron Myron no longer works for us because he passed away.
Yes, I'm aware of that. And that's part of the reason I'm here. Could you tell me where the car may have came from? Like where it was made, maybe originally? How did you guys acquire the vehicle?
Myron brought it to us.
Myron brought it to you. Okay.
Yes, he shows you in the paperwork that where it shows that it writes, it's saying that I got this car secondhand in a junkyard. Is what it says. Notes from Myron, saying he got this car secondhand from a junkyard, and he intends to fix it back up and put it back together.
He got it from a junkyard. Okay.
Yes.
Does it say which junkyard?
Yes.
Do you know which one?
Wheels Discount Consumables. Or you can say Wheels Discount Auto, but nonetheless, is basically a junkyard who takes in old cars, hacks them up, puts them sells pieces and parts, maybe even the whole car.
And do you know where this junkyard is or was?
Yeah. He also sits there and shows you the file of what the things that were done to the car.
Yeah, I was going to look through that. Because isn't he giving me a copy of that?
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to look through that in a minute. But.
Sure. He says, he does not know anything about the junkyard.
Okay.
The discount auto place.
Okay. Do you think it was here in the Chicago vicinity, though?
He says the vehicle had to be brought here on a truck because it was badly damaged.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Then I guess I'll go ahead and look through the modifications and ask him if there's anything he wants to tell me about the modifications.
He says, as far as I know, the car was adapted with our normal, at that time, rigor response control units. As you might have noticed already, we specialized in rigor controls for vehicles. Our applications stretched from semi-trucks to airplanes as well as into drones. And so that was one of the cars that was, at that time, top-end rigged. It was also provided with some special programming. Myron used the facilities that we had. Apparently, this was, of course, he says, before me, to enhance the vehicle to make it run better. I do believe it came as just a ZL1, but when it left, it was a turbo. So I'm assuming that he made those modifications here in shop. You can see through the rest of it yourself. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to assist, Mr. Sincrest.
I appreciate your help. You've been very, very helpful. I guess I'm just going to go take a seat and read through the modifications and see if there's anything I might notice that's off or something.
Okay. Well, the first thing you notice is there is a rig control for the car itself, but it's not got a Wi-Fi setup because it's a plug-in. The plug-in is hidden up under the dash. There is a mechanism in which you reach under the dash and you press a key button, and you see that there's diagrams laid out where you press a key button and the dash will roll forward and have access to the old style jack.
Okay.
And that's which we explained why you never actually saw one, because it's a hidden mechanism.
Anything else?
Yes. It continues to talk as you read through the notes. It's talking about how he is changing out key components, replacing them with more modern versions. This is a 2033. This is 2050 something that he's doing all these modifications. He wants to update this car. It was beautiful when he was a young man. He's made personal notes in here, Myron did, about what he's doing to the car. Also, he replaced the standard operating system with one of their more high-tech operating systems. And it's referred to as let me make sure I got this, Fast Response Risk Management Controller. He replaced the computer that's in there that normally makes simple decisions, pilot programs, with a Fast Response Risk Management Controller. And you will need to make a logic plus knowledge skill related to rigging to know what a risk management controller is.
Okay, one more so I can write it down. It was called a Fast
Response Risk Management Controller. That's what it actually is, but it probably had some sort of name like Dragon 242, like a graphics card would have for your computer. They have specialized names to kind of describe them.
Okay. Does it say the name?
Yeah, it says the name, and so you can probably do a matrix search and figure out exactly what that means. Okay.
And then you wanted me to do what kind of roll?
Logic plus some sort of knowledge of rigging or cybernetics or auto mechanics or something like that. Do you have a knowledge that relates specifically to that tech?
I have automotive.
You have knowledge of automotive?
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay, so that in reaction?
No, logic. Only
3
need
successes.
2. 3 successes. You think about it, you got a pretty good idea. You start doing some research into it. And the company in question who made this, hang on one second. The company that made it was called McDade. And they were designing a computer program. They were designing this controller. Now, so computers basically are in every car out there. Controller was basically a higher level of decision making for the car. And the McDade Corporation, when it was back there, prior to it being absorbed by Neonet, was working on a program of risk management. And so the model that was put in there is a model 719-A.
719-A.
And when you bring up the specs on it, you're kind of shocked that this model that McDade was working on, and this is knowledge that you can find by scrolling through forums and stuff, it allowed the car to make an 85% risk assessment as acceptable. Now, what does that mean? Modern piloting vehicles, when they hit a 30% risk issue, they will back the fuck off.
Right.
Oh man, that's a 30% risk to the vehicle or to the occupants. But this program pushed those boundaries. This was back in the day when level of regulation wasn't really there. But this had an 85% risk factor. So this basically said the car itself was able to make choices that could endanger itself as well as occupants, up to 85% of casualty or lethality and stuff like that. And that's pretty high end.
Sure, yeah, it is.
So it meant the car would make willing choices to, I can speed up and ramp that parked car and make it over that barricade. That might actually fall into the realm of acceptable.
How many of these controllers did they make? Can I find that out?
They talk about
model.
Yeah, they talk about maybe a dozen at most.
Dozen at most.
Yeah.
I want to look up the model number for those controllers and see if there's been any issues with them malfunctioning or just a general web search.
McDade did run into a lot of legal action, which led them to being absorbed by Neonet many years back because of this, because of all the lawsuits, because of the risk management programming was put in, and this is a big one that really set it all off. A risk management program was put into one of the UCAS's remodified C-130 combat airplanes. And when it was used in a sortie over in the Middle East, the plane itself made the choice to fly into oncoming fire to complete its mission. And that was pretty much the downfall of McDade's high-end risk management programming because it was too high. The plane.
So that was one of the 12 that were made?
Not this one, but what I'm saying is that was like one of the tumbling factors. You can't find out because that's military information whether or not this was in there or not.
Okay.
But while you're staring at all this information and sorting through it, you find that amongst all of the information relating to like that military contract and stuff, you find Spigot's name in there. Myron Spigot was one of the engineers. Myron Spite was one of the engineers.
Okay. So he helped make the controller that he put into the vehicle.
Yes.
I want to do, I don't know if that'll help. I want to do a full web search for Myron Spite, see if any, looking for like legal problems he may have had or something.
He ran into some financial issues. He was taken to court. He fought McDade and then later Neonet over his intelligent rights over his comptroller programming as well as his management controller programming, saying that, his big argument was his code is his code and nobody else's, and that nobody should be taking his code and using it because his codes, and this is the part that kind of like, I don't know how you feel about it, but as you're reading through it, his opening statement into his legal disclaimer against Neonet and their use of it is this isn't just code. They're alive. I've made them. They're mine and not yours. They're my intelligent property. They're my children.
Excellent. That's what I was looking for. I want to try. I may have to get help for this. I might be able to do it on my own. I want to try to find. I can go ahead and leave the place.
Yeah.
And I'll thank. What was his name?
Oh, Mark.
Mark. I'll thank
Something
him
other.
again for all the help he's been.
Yeah.
And then when I get back to the hotel, I want to do some research. I want to see if I can find somehow the code that was for that specific controller. Is there a way that so did he win that case? Okay,
No,
so
it went all the way up to the corporate courts, and they ruled in favor of Neonet because the intellectual properties belong to Neonet because he did all that work when he was with McDade, and McDade owned all of that.
So Neonet has full rights to the code
Yes.
for those controllers.
Yes.
Is there a way, without hacking too much, to find that code? Would they have it?
They're not going to have that laying around. That level of risk management was deemed illegal as to be on the roads with any level of safe jurisdiction because they just said pilot programs should not be able to make that level of choice for the driver and put them into a risky situation. So by the law, the computers can't take more than a 35% risk factor into account.
Now, I have computer and software skills. Could I use that? And I also have like electronic warfare. Can I use those to maybe try to hack into Neonet and download the code for that controller?
You're going to need a cyber deck. Yes, you can. You have you have a data jack because of your rigging controls. You're going to need a deck, and you're going to need computer skills and the understanding of how the matrix works.
Okay.
You could go there on your phone and play around, but you're not going to be able to get much to happen.
Right.
They might just be like, yeah, we know about it. I mean, it's 20 plus years old. This is tech that they don't use because it's too dangerous.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try that. I'll give them a call.
Okay. So you want to contact Neonet. What else did you want to do?
Oh, that's it. Contact them. Ask them for the code.
Okay. They will tell you that that is not something they have continued due to its legal issues. They don't produce that controller anymore. If you still have one of those controllers, they would oddly think that it'd be best choice is just to get rid of it because it's, dangerous. But they do have the necessary reprogramming codes for it to make it less dangerous.
I don't want to make it less dangerous. I want to see the original code. Is there a way that I can do that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll take the new program as well, the new programming code as well, but I really want to see the original.
Go ahead and make your charisma plus negotiations.
2 successes.
They will, they'll go ahead and set you up a whatever cloud service you have. They'll definitely download the code, the actual computer codes that they had to it.
Okay.
As well as the new ones so that you can, because if you're still running a vehicle or if you have a control device that's running this, they would err on the side of it's probably best just to use this more updated version. And if you're really interested, we have a variety of controllers that are not 20 plus years old that you could probably use that'll be better.
That sounds good. I may call you back and hit you up for those later.
Okay.
For now, I want to look through this stuff, though.
Alrighty then.
All right. I'll say bye to them, and then I want to start looking through the code and use my software skills or something to try to read through the code and see exactly what's going on. Because if he said these things are alive, I want to know how he did that.
All right, so you make your logic plus software.
and I'll use Psych.
Okay.
That gives me one more.
And Logic.
No. Analytical Mind.
Yep. That'll give you can use both.
That'll give me 2 Logic, and the Psych gives me 1.
Analytical Mind should give you 2 extra dice, I thought.
Yeah.
The
Analytical Mind gives 2.
Psych gives another 1, and Psych also increases your limit, so you'd have 3 extra dice, and your limit would go up by 1.
Okay, so I'll do that. 11. 3 is 14.
Yeah, your edge is refreshed, by the way, too, so if you wanted to put an edge in that.
Is 4 successes enough?
Yes. Reading through this code they just gave you, the one that is supposed to be dangerous, you calculate it out, and from what you read in the pieces of paper at that dealership, that automotive place, the risk factor that this program they've given you probably hits maybe about a 60% at most. It would never calculate into an 85% risk management.
Huh.
They might not have given you what you were expecting.
So can I use Judge Intentions? Do I feel like he's trying to throw me off with that or something?
The people from Neonet?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Like he gave me the wrong... I got 4 successes.
Yeah, you don't think they're being open with you.
Okay. Alright. I really can't do anything more with this now. I do need to get a deck. That was another thing I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're up for that. We've already been playing a while, but...
Oh, we can always come back to this. But we will end here. What is Gears thinking at this point in time?
Well, I think that this guy, Myron, was creating controllers that were... I don't know the proper way to say it. They weren't possessed, but he was building living minds into these vehicles. I've been wanting to get a deck, and I want to steal one, so that's going to be like a whole nother adventure, stealing a good deck.
Yeah, because it's going to be a bitch to buy.
Yeah, I know the prices on them.
Yeah. And they're all forbidden. They're not restricted, they're forbidden. And you saw how hard it was to get explosives.
Right.
You're going to need a real top-end connection to get that.
Yeah. I think I might actually ask Zoe for help on this one. Maybe she can help hack into... If I can't get my own deck first, maybe she can help hack into Neonet or whatever.
But you do know a couple of things. Myron worked for the military.
Yes.
Myron then took his knowledge of military equipment and went civilian.
Right.
You also know that there is a jack point for you to actually hot sim and cold sim into the car.
You got some time still? A little bit of time? Well, if you have time, I wanted to head back to, stay one more night and then head back to Seattle, back home. And I wanted to try to jack into the car.
All right, great. I've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. During your ride back, we need to start talking about other things because you've researched into the car, the VIN number, and whatnot. I'm going to assume that you got a chance to, because this is important, I can't move forward in the game without you, have gone to Wheels and looking up the car itself prior when it was junked.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah, I that's important. We can't move forward in the game without you knowing where the car came from.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Spite had a sister.
Yeah.
His sister died in a car crash she was driving the ZL1. Right. He was buying his dead sister's car. Okay, so you gotta follow through with that mentality.
Yes.
She was out. The report says she lost control of the vehicle and she collided with oncoming traffic.
This is before he put the controller in it?
Well before.
Okay.
Well before. Throughout the notes that you're reading as he's building and describing, so this is the mindset of Myron as you get into him.
Hold on. I'm confused here because the sister that died was married to Brent Williams. He's the guy that I found out this stuff from the beginning.
No, no, it's not his sister. The car had someone die in it. So vague notes. The game master hasn't really filled it out, but a woman died in the car.
Okay.
And
so woman that he cared about.
A woman that Myron cared about. So maybe it was an ex-lover or something. Maybe something along those lines. During his reconstruction of the car, he talks about how he feels she's still there. How the seat is warm today and no one's been in the car. How he's fixing her up so that she can come back to him. Those are the key components in the notes that he scribbled in.
These are the notes that I got from the guy at Neonet, or I'm sorry, at Tech?
Yes.
Okay.
Myron is not okay in the head. By the way you read his notes, he really believes, you get the impression that he's putting together the car so that whoever died in it will have another shot at life.
Okay.
So
he didn't buy it from a junkyard?
No, he did. After the accident happened, it got placed into the junkyard.
Okay.
He's coming back at this time. He's finding the car. He's getting the car out. He's putting it back together. He's rebuilding it. He's making it stronger and faster and better so that she can live. Crazy, creepy things like this will help her live better.
Right.
You find that in the car, he modified the exterior so that it can hold plating, which you know about.
Yeah.
The engine, he replaced the engine with a larger model so that it actually has more power than it's supposed to. He put in the fast response risk management controller in conjunction with the rigger controls. So he's got some high-tech rigger controls in it, as well as this device, which is supposed to make it...
Did the car originally have, when she was driving it, did it have a rigger setup then?
No.
Did it have a controller?
No.
Or was it connected to the Matrix or anything like that?
No.
It was just a standard American...
muscle car.
R-time car.
Muscle car, yes.
Okay.
And so, through the notes, you get the impression that Myron really believes he's bringing life back. And he even references, I'm going to give her the same things I gave the other ones. And you're not sure what that means, but that's what's in the notes. When you get back to Seattle, and you get back to the Red Ones, this is when you get a chance to...
Yeah, I'm going to grab what are they called? The blueprints or whatever that tell me where it is, the specifics, whatever it's called, and try to, follow the instructions, and I'm sure I've got a cable for this somewhere lying around.
Actually, because of the cyberware you have, the cable's actually in your head, and you just pull it out. You have a length of cable wound up in your head of nanowire that you pull out and you can jack in with.
Okay.
Jay's just like, wait, what? Yeah, under rigger controls it says you have a data jack. And under data jack it says you have up to a meter's worth of cable.
Okay. I'll do that then.
Okay, so you reach up. I don't know where you want your data jack to be. I mean, don't.
Yeah, it's in the back of my head, so.
Yeah. Worst place to put it is in your nose.
Yeah.
Unless you're a clown.
Unless you're a clown.
How do I get a meter's worth of cord in my head?
It's at some point for this game, you just have to suspend belief.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think it'd be better is if, I had a jack in my head and I could plug a cable into it.
That sounds fine. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you've got.
Yeah.
In case of emergency, pull that sucker out and start whirling it around. I'll hit you with this. Could you imagine dorks dueling with their cables?
Yeah. That'd be so crazy.
You got it just spinning your head around going, Whoa! You do that, your cable's going to snap off. Ugh. So you hook up. You have access now to the car systems.
In the notes, did it say the girl's name that died?
Tracy.
What? Tracy. Okay.
Tracy.
Okay, so I'm in?
Yep, you're in.
and I'm gonna. Do I feel anything different?
So you're
place?
just. There are 3 different types of inn: AR, cold, and hot sim.
Okay, I probably would be hot sim because I don't think can I AR?
Yeah, you can AR inside the car.
I'll do
Everything that comes up will be on the windshield. If you hot sim in, everything comes up in your head, and you have like this.
So hot sim is like the deeper.
Yes.
Okay, I want a hot sim.
All right.
And do I feel anything weird? Do I feel like maybe it's kind of crowded in here, or?
Oh yeah, it's really warm, and it feels like you're sitting in a bed, but you're not by yourself.
So there's something here.
Yes.
That's what I want to know.
It definitely feels like something.
I'm gonna call out the name Tracy.
All right, the car cranks up. You see the engine come online. Everything starts revving up.
So you are here. Can you talk?
There's no response.
No response?
No. You are seeing systems coming online that you were completely unaware of. There is a weapon mount in the rear of the vehicle above the engine, and the weapon mount is actually attached to an actual weapon that seems to be attached into a concealed compartment on the rear of the car. It faces the rear 90 degrees, and it's an Immigram minigun with over 1,000 rounds of ammunition in the back end of your car.
Jesus.
It's referred to as the anti-pursuit device.
I'm gonna start talking. I don't know exactly. I mean, I know what I want to say, but I want to kind of like talk to her. Like, I don't know. I had a really good idea, but
I tell you what, at this point in time, let's end it here.
Yeah.
You've slid in. You've been looking around. It feels like a warm bed. And you ask, is there somebody else here? And it feels like there's someone with you. You remember some time back when you were at the house with your dad above Abdul's place, you had a dream. There was a woman, and you can smell that same smell that you smelt that you felt that night. The caress of a woman. She's not, you can't see her, but you can feel her presence, and it is very alluring. And when you call out for Tracy, that's when the engine revs up.
All right. Yeah, we can end it here.
Bam. And cutscene. You have about 6 months of downtime. Go ahead, and because I like where you're going with this, I like that you're interested in exploring this, you're going to get another 4 karma. You have 6 months worth of downtime. Do some leveling if you need to.
We completed the job.
You completed the job. That's another 2 karma. Oh, and you get karma for assigning a job. You have to remind me of these things because I will forget them. Yeah, you get 2 karma for the job, 4 karma for exploring your backstory and finding out Tracy's name, knowing that she's there. And Tracy was actually, her original programming was for an A-10 Warthog.
Okay.
So she thinks she's an airborne tank.
Nice.
Does she think she's a real person? Yes.
But now it's still the spirit of the girl driving too, right?
Maybe. Is it a program? Is it a spirit? What is it?
Right. Well, that's cool. I don't have to blow it up. Because that's one of the reasons, I'm going to be honest, that's one of the reasons I bought 3 of the kilos of the thing. Because I was going to put a bomb underneath that car. In case it ever decided to turn on me.
Yeah.
And then, like, when it did, I would blow it up. But maybe I won't have to do that.
I had the impression that's why you kept asking about a car and how much armor it has. But no, she's designed to take a 115% risk assessment to accomplish task at hand.
Wow.
She will literally drive into an inferno. If she can calculate it, means that it will accomplish the task at hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if it means damaging her in the long run. So, yeah, military-grade artificial intelligence in the car kind of thing. Or is it a ghost? You don't know. Not yet.
Thanks for listening to the original Box Set Shadowrun podcast. Our runners will pick up where we left off next week. In the meantime, you can connect with us via Facebook or YouTube to check out actual play videos of the original box set playing Shadowrun and other tabletop RPGs. You can also swing by our website at originalboxset.com and check out our gaming calendar, additional information about our games, and images that inspire our worlds and characters. And if you're enjoying our work, please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/originalboxset so that we can continue to bring you this podcast as well as other great actual plays and entertainment. Today's featured music is titled Epic Song from Alpha Brutal, and trust me, the whole song is pretty epic, so check it out. We'll catch you next week, chummers. And now for all this legal dreck. Original Box Set is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial 4.0 International License. You can share us, but please give us credit. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership over the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Original Box Set, that's us, to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Original Box Set in any official capacity whatsoever. Oh my goodness, that's so much. Okay, bye.